Ganges International is a part of a diversified groups which has multi-products. We're into solar structures, telecom towers, transmission, flour milling, steel trading international. Solar structure is one of the fastest growing products in the entire group, and we have structures from ground mounts which has got 3 different varieties: fixed, seasonal and tracking, rooftop products, and we are launching further new products which are required as per the market demands. One of the core strengths for Ganges has been that we've been in fabrication for the last 20-25 years. So we have a base from manufacturing, and we understand the problems which are there associated with the products in fabricated structures. We have had the good opportunity of having collaborations with companies like Ramboll of Denmark, Panel Claw USA, Sunlink USA, which have been very involved in the process of research and development and development of new products internationally. We've been able to bring that culture into our organization. So we have an independent research and development team which is continuously working on improving the products. We have a test lab which does testing for all the structures that we are able to supply to our customers. Every new product which is launched goes through the testing processes and then only hits the market. So that's another major advantage we are able to do. One of the biggest R&D results is the first project which we did was 100 tons per megawatt, which is now down to 30 tons per megawatt. And the safety standards have never been compromised. We have always maintained the safety standards, and we've been able to reduce the weight by 70%. And that's brought down the cost of the structure and reduce the foundation cost at the same time. Solar tracking is the fastest growing segment in the world, leaving India. The reason being, Indian lenders are not educated, they don't have enough data. Indian developers are finding it difficult to get the lenders to agree to those terminologies. Also, they're not very comfortable with the suppliers base which is available in the country, whether they would be able to give a product which has got a mechanical moving part, and whether they have understood the moving part problems and whether they have got over those problems. Structures are only 8 to 12% of the entire investment of the plant, and so they don't want to risk the entire investment by getting into a structure which does not work well and which has a problem. So they are very, very cautious on that. Sunlink, we found, has a good technology partner, a tested product working for the last 8 years, all industrial grade components, no custom made component, which gives you an advantage that you are comfortable that this custom made product problem will not be there ever in the next 25 or 30 years of the plant life cycle. The structure has been tunnel tested, one of the few tracking structures in the world which has got wind tunnel testing data, one of the few in India which has got wind tunnel testing. Standard technical analysis is good for a fixed structure, but when it comes to tracking, you need more data than the STAD analysis or FE analysis which is traditionally done, which is not there with the Indian suppliers or Indian developers of manufacturers of tracking structures. So we found that Sunlink was ready to share the entire technology. We have 100% indigenous product with the latest technology and designs from US, which have been tested and verified there. So we are able to get that, and we are able to give Indian markets that product at a price which they are able to accept in India. The response has been fantastic, and we have already got 3 orders in hand. The first plant is going to get commissioned this month, the next plant is going to commission in the next month. 2 are in Karnataka, 1 is in Andhra, and the third plant we would be commissioning by November. And we expect all these 3 plants put together will cross around 31 megawatts. But we expect this year, before March, to do another 150 to 200 megawatts in tracking. Because the market information is increasing, people are understanding more, and their acceptance is going to grow. The advantage is very clear. You have an investment increase of 10%, but your income is growing by 15 or 20% or 25%. So they are scared whether this 15 to 20, 25 would happen, but once they see that the live results are there, they would automatically accept it. There is no reason for them to not accept it, because they're going to have 5% extra income, and 5% IRR increase is a huge income growth. So from high teens, we are talking of low 20s, which is a good increase, which is a good return on investment. We have a capacity of almost 200 megawatts per month, 200 to 250 megawatts per month. We are investing another 100 crores in the next 3 years in India to increase the plant capacity, improve the design facilities, R&D facilities, and also introduce new products in the market. We have been able to do like one of the biggest projects which we talk of, not in terms of volume, was the canal project which we did in Karnataka on the Almaty River. Then we did the Cochin International Airport, which was a prestigious project which we did in a very short timeline. We have done project which is like 40-50 megawatts, where we were given a timeline of only 45 days and we were able to complete. We have recently done a elevated ground mount rooftop kind of a structure in Punjab, which was hit by a cyclone, and the structure was able to survive that. So there are various, we have done so many that it becomes difficult, but yeah, these are one of few which come to the mind immediately. Northeast regions is definitely untapped, and they need power, but they have a lot of hydel power, which is cheap power available to them. The advantage which the Northeast regions can use is where they don't have any electrification reaching them, where there is no grid reaching them, they can have a smart grid or a small grid set up inside that small community, and they can have distributed power at a very cheap price. But here the government initiatives would play a major role, because smart grids or small grid, micro grids as we call them, would bank on a lot of government initiative, because end of the day the consumers is going to be a very medium or lower income family. You see, as far as the challenges go, I think education on products is the biggest challenge that we find we face with customers, where we launch on a new product and they don't understand what are the benefits of the products, and they're always looking at the costs. India is a very cost-driven market. Safety and reliability sometimes is overlooked. But over a period of time, I think this is going to be a natural progression where people will realize the cost and safety have to be matched at some point. And apart from that, I don't feel that there have been very great challenges, because our family has been in business for the last 60 years. So kind of we are third generation in business per se. So we have had quite a lot of exposure in the market in that. We've been in steel for 40-45 years now, fabrication for 25 years, in projects for last 20 years. So I think that experience is helping us. We are the only company which has everything in-house. We have design team in-house, research and development, and I can say with surety we are the only company which has a test lab, which does live testing on structures. We have our own civil projects team. We do our own structures installation. We do module installation. We do UC services. I don't think so there's anybody in India who can offer all this under one roof, backed by a group which has a turnover of 1,000 crores, zero debt. We are not publicly quoted. So our main focus is to deliver quality for long term, not in short term profits. And customers are appreciating that we are able to do first time right. First time right is what we live by in Ganges. If we do a project, we do it right, and we do it on time, and we do it the first time we do it right. Because our team is phenomenal and they're able to perform and they're able to deliver the results. We're not only talking about it. We haven't lost a customer since inception, and our percentage share in the market has been growing. And we have a percentage share which is unparalleled to anybody else in the market today. Quality systems were definitely needing improvement. We have now benchmarked our quality system with what is existing in America. When we have met our collaborators, we have understood what quality system they adhere to. So we are now benchmarking with those quality systems and we are achieving that. We are one of the largest exporters of solar structures from India to US. And getting acceptance of those products means the entire culture of the company has to change. It's not that just that one product reaching the US shows us for that quality. The whole product line and the entire systems of the company have to fall in place. And this is also being brought into the culture for projects team. So I think the quality system and the improvements we have made there is distinct advantage which we have over others. So one of the biggest roles we are going to do is we are going to bring down the levelized cost of electricity by getting better structures which cost less and structures like the tracking structures which will bring down the cost of electricity. Ganges has been phenomenal, active in this role and we have been one of the leaders in getting down the costs at all terms. Apart from that, we are on time. So most of the developers who are associated with us find that whenever they have a project and we are involved in that, they are not facing damages and they are not delayed in the projects, and that does not lead them to a problem in terms of losses because Ganges is able to deliver to them on time. So those are some of the activities, plus the largest growth story is going to come in the rooftop. Today the penetration in rooftop is, I don't have an accurate percentage, but I believe it's between 5 and 10% of total installed capacity in the country. You look at all the economies worldwide, it's as high as 40 to 60%. Rooftop is distributed power, is cheap power, it should be used. So we already have a tie-up with Panel Claw where we have bought the best in world-class structures to India. So we are already rolling out that product, and I'm sure that will help the market size grow, because they will have a qualified product which they can easily put into any roof, any module, so they'll find it easier to grow faster. One of the biggest suggestions which would come to my mind would be that the lenders need to have more comfort level in lending to solar industry. Globally, solar is a tested product. It is not a product with high risks. You have a 20-year, 25-year PPA. The off-takers are mostly government agencies, which are again controlled by state governments. In the end, there is a play for the nation in that. But if the lenders are in comfort zones, and the projects which have worldwide, if you see the project's survival rate, which is better than any other industry. So the high rates of interest need to come down and the lenders need to be able to lend more easily to borrowers. Solar is the cheapest fuel source in the world today. It has already reached that benchmark. Chile and Dubai has proved it. India is on the track to prove it in the next 3 years. After that, for the next 60 or 70 or 80 years, it will continue reducing, whereas no other power source will reduce. They'll all keep going up. So the government has already taken a lot of concrete steps. But this is one of the loopholes which they need to plug and to really see that the growth in industry picks up. We're exporting quite a lot to the US markets. We have started our exports to Europe. Panel Claw and Sunlink, we have nominated as the global vendors for them. So globally they're buying from us wherever they have requirements. Plus we're first currently working with these two companies, and slowly as we expand our product range, we will expand and develop more products. A lot of our buyers in India are international companies. And with the experience in India, they're inviting us to participate in their projects internationally also now. We are going to get a rooftop clamping solution, which in the next 3 to 6 months would be matched. It's metal roof clamping, which is used predominantly in all the commercial, industrial or warehouses, wherever there's a metal roof, the solar clamping structures for that. Ganges has a very clear philosophy. Unless we have tested the product to the end, we don't launch it. We are not in any. The product is ready, but we are under testing phases. And we'll do some validation, and once we are validated, we'll launch that product. And then future, there are so many new other products which we can get into, which is solar has got into telecom sectors, flooring floating solar. So I think slowly we'll expand and get into those products also once the volume is justified and there are big, large volume markets in that.